In the modern corporate environment, speed is the default setting. Yet even within that rapid current, a 5-minute habit provides the visibility required to track and adjust a multi-decade career path. Highly capable people often find themselves caught in a loop. They manage complex projects and answer hundreds of messages, but eventually hit a wall of decision fatigue and career confusion. It creates a familiar paradox. Professionals regularly log 10-hour workdays and feel completely overwhelmed with busyness, only to realize months later that they have made little measurable progress toward their long-term goals. The difference between an average worker and a top-tier performer comes down to friction. High performers do not outwork their peers by logging extra hours. They build systems to filter out the noise. The primary system they use is micro-habit compounding. It is a method of extracting vital, actionable signals from the chaos of a daily workplace environment. The practical tool for executing this extraction is a rigid journaling framework: 3 wins, 1 lesson, and 1 priority. Rather than attempting to draft sweeping career plans that quickly become obsolete, this framework relies on capturing tiny, immediate data inputs at the end of every shift. Increasing your daily momentum will only get you lost faster if your direction is wrong. True career clarity requires a systematic daily pause to measure your actual trajectory. This sequence begins by recording exactly 3 daily wins, making micro-progressions visible. Second, capture 1 critical lesson from the day's friction to build a feedback loop preventing recurring mistakes. Finally, determine tomorrow's top priority to eliminate morning decision fatigue and drive immediate executive productivity. Compiling these 3 inputs takes a maximum of 5 minutes at the end of every shift. Combined, these entries convert an unpredictable, chaotic workday into a highly controlled, personalized dataset used to drive career advancement. To support more content that breaks down the mechanics of professional growth, take a second to like, share, and subscribe to Corporate Elevate. Building this 5-minute system requires leaning on a behavioral science concept known as habit stacking. You ensure the journal gets completed by anchoring it to a rigid, existing daily trigger. You do not wait until you feel inspired. You write the entries at the exact moment you shut down your laptop. At the end of the week, isolated daily entries sort and cluster into overarching insight categories. Grouping exposes patterns invisible in the moment. Identifying these macro patterns allows you to adjust your quarterly goals based on hard evidence, rather than relying on intuition. The true utility of the journal lies in this compounding effect, converting daily observations into a foundation for strategic career planning. Consider a mid-level professional who spent 2 years feeling constantly overwhelmed and stagnant in their role before adopting this framework. By implementing the journal, their psychology shifted. They stopped measuring their worth by how busy they felt and started tracking their specific, measurable outputs. When it came time for a promotion negotiation, they didn't have to rely on vague claims of hard work. Their accumulated record of daily wins provided the quantitative data of their contributions. Their log of lessons learned showed upper management that they possessed the self-awareness to identify their own flaws and correct them, indicators of the maturity required for an elevated role. They achieved this without a perfect track record. Consistency trumps perfection. Skipping a day is acceptable, as long as the core tracking system remains intact over the long haul. This repository replaces subjective feelings about job performance with objective, actionable proof of corporate value. The equation remains simple: exactly 3 wins, 1 captured listen, and tomorrow's top priority, completed daily. A simple 5-minute daily investment builds a compounding set of career returns when maintained over a long 5-year horizon. Subscribe to Corporate Elevate for continuous strategies on corporate success and productivity. Your ultimate career trajectory is not defined by massive, infrequent leaps. It is engineered by the small habits you choose to execute today.